All right, let's dive into a topic that's a huge deal for so many people new to the United States: opening a bank account. We're going to break down exactly how you can get it done even if you don't have a social security number. So, imagine this. You've just arrived, you're ready to get your financial life started, and then bam, you hit a wall. It feels like every single form is asking for a social security number, or SSN, which you probably don't have. It can feel like a total roadblock, but trust me, it's a super common hurdle, and there's absolutely a way through it. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why that SSN roadblock even exists. Then, we'll introduce you to your secret weapon, the ITIN. We'll walk through how to get one, how to use it to open that bank account, and finally, why this is so important for building your financial future here. Okay, so first things first, let's get a handle on why this hurdle is even here. What's the big deal with the SSN in the US financial world anyway? Think of the SSN as the default master key. It's the number that banks, credit card companies, and lenders all use to identify you and track your financial history. It's all tied up with employment and social security benefits. So yeah, if you're not eligible for one, it can definitely feel like the entire system is locked up tight. But what if you don't have that master key? Are you just locked out? No. Turns out there's another key, one that was made for a totally different reason, but it happens to unlock this exact door for you. And that key is the ITIN. That stands for Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. It's a 9-digit number from the IRS. And here's a fun fact. You'll always know it's an ITIN because it starts with the number 9, every single time. Its main job, its whole reason for being, is for taxes. The IRS needed a way for people without an SSN to still pay their US taxes, so they created the ITIN. Now, this right here is probably one of the most important things to get straight. Let's be super clear about the differences. An ITIN is for taxes, and as a handy side effect, it lets you open a bank account. But look at what it doesn't do. It is not a work permit. It has nothing to do with social security benefits, and it does not change your immigration status one bit. It's a tax number, plain and simple. Okay, so the ITIN is the key we need. Great. How do you actually get one? Let's get right into this step-by-step action plan. The whole process really boils down to these 3 steps. First, you fill out a form called the W-7. Second, and this is the big one, you usually have to attach a US federal income tax return right along with it. This is how you prove to the IRS that you have a real tax reason for needing this number. And third, you have to send some serious proof of who you are and your foreign status. And when it comes to ID, the IRS is, let's just say, very specific. The king of all documents here is your passport. Why? Because it's the only one on the list that proves both your identity and your foreign status all by itself. If you can't use your passport, you'll need at least 2 other documents from this list. And a crucial point, you have to send the originals or copies that are certified by the agency that issued them. Regular old photocopies won't cut it. And now for the part nobody loves, the waiting game. Once you send everything in, you should plan on waiting about 7 weeks to hear back. But be warned, if you're applying during the crazy busy tax season, which is roughly January to April, or if you're applying from outside the US, that wait can easily stretch to 9 or even 11 weeks. So, patience is key. Okay, so you've waited patiently, and that magical letter from the IRS finally shows up in your mailbox. You've got your ITIN. Now for the main event, using that key to unlock a US bank account. So let's just cut right to the chase. The big question we started with. Can you do it? The answer is a big, resounding yes. You absolutely can. Major banks in the US are fully equipped to accept an ITN instead of an SSN, as long as you have all your other ducks in a row. So where should you go? Well, here are some of the big players that are known for being pretty friendly to ITN holders. Bank of America often comes up as a great option for non-residents. Wells Fargo is a go-to for many international students. Chase is everywhere, but it's a really good idea to call your local branch first, just to make sure they know the drill. And hey, if you're already a Citibank customer back home, That can make things a whole lot smoother.
Now, this quote right here is super important. It might sound a little bureaucratic, but it tells you everything you need to know about the bank's mindset. The US Treasury is basically telling banks, hey, an ITIN is a tax number, not an ID card. That's why, even with your shiny new ITIN, the bank's #1 job is still to prove you are who you say you are. The ITIN gets you in the door, but your passport is what seals the deal.
So to make sure your trip to the bank is a one-and-done success, you need to walk in prepared. Think of this as your go bag. You'll need the official ITIN letter from the IRS, your passport, of course, a second form of ID, and proof of where you live, both here in the US and your address back home. Having all of this ready to go makes everything so much easier. All right, let's zoom out for a second. Because really, opening the bank account isn't the final destination. Nope, it's the launch pad. It is the absolutely essential first step to building a real financial life in the US. And this image just says it all, right? Your ITIN and that new bank account. These are the first foundational building blocks. With these set firmly in place, you can finally start building something much, much bigger. And what are you building? You're building a credit history. This is the crucial part. Your bank account is your ticket into the US credit system. Without one, you're basically a financial ghost. This account is what makes you visible. And once that account is up and running, look at all the doors that start to creak open. You can start applying for credit cards, since some companies do accept an ITIN. You can build a good payment history, and that leads to being able to rent an apartment without a huge hassle, getting a loan for a car, and getting access to all sorts of other financial tools. It all starts right here. So there you have it. We started with what felt like a locked door, that whole SSN problem. But now you know the key is the ITIN. You know how to get it and how to use it to open that door to the banking system. You have officially laid the foundation. So the only question left is, what are you going to build next?